So we are back here in Twisted, and today we're going to be using the Dominator 3 to be chasing a high risk today. We're going to be chasing with a cape of 3,600 around there with a really high lapse rate. We're going to be chasing with 9.1 lapse rates, a dew point of 85 Fahrenheit, and then the temperature is maxed out at 105 Fahrenheit. The humidity is incredibly low, but the humidity, I believe, doesn't do that much to the risk. So, if anyone sees this, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think the humidity is probably going to stay a little bit higher, though, because of the, 25-degree Fahrenheit gap in the numbers. But the numbers are slowly but surely climbing to get up to the risk that it says it's going to be, and we're going to hop into Dominator 3, and we're going to get onto the chase. So something that I'm worried about looking at the risk here, I think we're going to be fine with the cape, but I don't think that the lapse rates are actually going to make it up to 9.1 because of how late it is, and the lapse rates only being at 8 still. So if a storm were to pop up at the normal time, it wouldn't be at the full power because the lapse rates aren't the highest they'll get yet. So we have a storm here that just blew up, and we're actually already under it in the light rain area, and I believe that the storm is headed southeast, so that's gonna be very good, although the storm is in this area, so if it does make a hook, it'll probably go in the Sylvia Viraqua area. So I'm gonna try to head south to hopefully get in the path of this storm and maybe intercept something. And actually, that is a very good place for the hook to be, and it looks like it's going to hit somewhere near Viraqua, so probably going south at the next opportunity we get is going to be the best option. And this storm actually got a hail core pretty quickly, not to mention we are also inside the hail core. But either way, we're going to head into the Helma area and then into the Viraqua area. So if we see anything, hopefully it's weak at the beginning and strong at the end, because we're not going to be able to get to intercept the tornado if it's very strong right off the bat, because we're going to need to get into the Viraqua area, and we're all the way up here near Hibbing. So there's actually a mesocyclone already now. It's down there, and it's a good shape for strong tornadoes, so hopefully strong tornadoes is what we see. And this storm has a pretty high base and a pretty high mesocyclone, so that hopefully is going to mean that an intercept opportunity will be easy to find. And we're going to have to change our plans on navigating, because if we go straight south, the tornado is going to form pretty much on us, like it did in the last video. So we're going to need to head directly east and then get to the next south option. So luckily this is a rather slow-moving storm, and that is a very wide rain wrap right off the bat there. So hopefully that means that our first tornado of the day is going to be some kind of monster wedge. So there is a funnel somewhere in that mesocyclone, and actually it's just dropped down, as you can see there, and it's already pretty wide, and it looks like it's gonna get very wide very quickly. So that rain wrap is pretty wide, therefore the tornado probably will be as well, so we need to get probably around this highway area. Probably further south than that even. And it's already a yellow TBS. So that's hopefully a good sign. We need to keep heading south. That tornado's already wide and that rain wrap is already really wide. So if this tornado gets as wide as the rain wrap, then you're in a good spot. So I think that is headed right for us already, so I'm gonna deploy here. And then we're gonna check the radar real quick. It's still a yellow TBS, but the radar says that the tornado is right on top of us already. But obviously that's wrong, because this is a server with just me, and I do not have a Doppler. So we're in the main wind field now, and there's the tornado. We have 112 miles an hour, so we didn't necessarily need to deploy, but as always, I'm glad we did. And now we have an orange TBS, and it's headed right for this gap in between Sire and Sylvia. So we're now good to undeploy. There goes that tornado. And then now we're going to need to head southeast more. But to do that, we have to head north because of this absolutely terrible road map. We could just follow the tornado and go right here, but that's obviously not an option because the road system and the southeast end of the map is, in my opinion, just terrible. And the rain wrap is very much wider, and the tornado is widening out itself too, so I am now just going to hope that the tornado gets even more wide while the rain wrap gets probably wider. And we also have to watch out for more storms in this area, and actually there you go, there's one right there. And I'm thinking about it, this storm has picked up the pace and speed, and I don't think we're going to be able to intercept this again unless we teleport or something, but that's not an option. So we're going to have to head to the north end of the map to try to get into the path of the new storm's hook. Also, I think I said like southeast or something. That's where we are. I meant to say northwest. But actually, looking at that, the hook is going to be probably over Waukesha, and it's going to head right for us. Yeah, just as I expected, there's the hook, and it's going to go in this area, so we're going to need to head north on probably the interstate. That over there actually looks really nice from here with the massive rain wrap, the tornado inside of it, and then the mesocyclone shape there just looks really good too. So it's obviously rotating fast. It's probably a pink TBS by now, and yeah, it is. It's PDS worn. Still on the map, but heading right for the corner to leave the map. So we're now gonna head over there to try to intercept anything that could be. And now there is a mesocyclone just south of Waukesha, moving towards us, really, so again. Oh, that's a really low mesocyclone over there, too, so when there's a low mesocyclone, wedge tornadoes are automatically a little bit more common to see. So it looks like it's gonna hit just south of Hazleton. So if this shifts to go due east, it probably could directly hit Hazleton. So we're gonna get off, not here, but at the next exit, and then we're gonna go probably north on Route 15. And there is a odd-looking rain wrap there, so hopefully means that there's a funnel now, and yeah, it does. And I think we can now see that yes, there is a tornado on the ground. And it is actually an hourglass shape, so We don't really see those often on the channel. Apparently they're one of the most common shapes though. So it actually shifted to go south, so we could probably just go straight and then get in the path of this. But then again, I don't know if that's a great option. I think we should head south a little bit. Because if we just head straight, I don't think we'll make it in time. And this tornado is growing in strength and size rapidly, so we're gonna want to head as far south as possible without heading out of the storm. And the mesocyclone is actually growing in size, and so is the tornado, which is probably going to wedge out fast. So this is now a red TVS, and it is tornado warned and probably about to be PDS warned. So we need to quickly get in the path of this, and I don't know if we'll be able to do that because the tornado is quickly approaching the road there, so we might be able to just stand by and then get close wind speed data. And I think, well, this is definitely going to go above 130 miles an hour. And actually, I don't like this. We need to deploy and we missed our chance. Well, we got lifted because my mouse is slow. And we're probably going to die. And this is actually a pink TVS now. I didn't even realize that. It's also now PDS mode. So hopefully, it finally flung us far enough that I think we're safe, and the wheel is way up there somehow, so yeah, there is the tornado. And oh, I forgot that the wind threshold for being outside of your vehicle was 50 miles an hour and not 90. So that was completely my fault, and now we're here at Funkley. It says we're still down there. So we're actually not in that good of a spot. But on the bright side, there's another storm that's headed right for this general area. So I'm just gonna stay back and watch that storm for a bit. Well, I was going to do that, but you can't really see it very well with where we are, so going to get a cart and then head south. There's actually now a little bit of a hook there, so we're gonna need to head south anyway. And it would help if my car isn't stuck. And if I'm not mistaken, that there is a mesocyclone. So I believe that our next tornado is going to be coming out of that area. And that tornado looks like it is right next to Hibbing, and yeah, it is. It has a little bit of a debris ball because they had a farm. And that's actually a pretty big debris ball as well. So you need to go south so we can see that and then spy on that. So I think we're gonna stay here because the new mesocyclone is headed right this way, and there is a funnel now since there is a rain wrap. And this is headed right for Starbucks, so hopefully there's not too much damage there. And I'm actually gonna look at the tornado that was down here by Sire. But it seems like apparently that hasn't lifted yet, and the storm just went off the map. So, gonna wait around to see if we can see that eventually. So I'm actually gonna head on this dirt road because the tornado has touched down, and I don't see us intercepting it any other way very well. And besides, down this dirt road, there's a little break in the rain, and we might be able to see something, but it also looks like that is a big no, so I don't think we'll be able to see this one that just went like in between cities twice. But the way that this tornado is going, it might be able to barely clip Hibbing. so gonna maybe keep going here, but at the same time, I think we're gonna be good right here. And no, that is either growing or completely going the other way. And I think it is now completely going the other way, so we need to get closer to the tornado, and hopefully we can successfully intercept it. So here we are, right next to the tornado. There's the main wind field there. I'm going to deploy now so I don't make that mistake again. So here we are, and there's the tornado. We would have been fine. The wind speeds are at 110. So I believe that there's still orange TVS wind speeds. And that down there, obviously, is still pink. And that didn't grow one bit after we intercepted it. So I think this tornado is probably not even going to reach pink. But it's actually now a red TVS and about to hit Hibbing. Yeah, there's now a tornado emergency for Hibbing, which makes sense. So I'm going to try to head toward Hibbing. And I don't have a great off-road vehicle. Well, actually I might. This is the wrong garage. We need this garage. Purchase a lift kit for this truck. Equip it. Give the truck a ridiculous color. Sure. I don't think that worked, and yeah, it didn't, so. Now we just need to head to the area. But apparently the game doesn't want me to drive my truck. It's stuck again. Hopefully it's not stuck again. Oh my goodness, how many times does it have to get stuck? Finally. I'm gonna head down the road here. 75 mile an hour. It's not the fastest in the world, but you can't really complain. And that now has a debris bolt. The tornado is in Hibbing now. So we need to quickly head that way. And yeah, you can just see it tearing apart pieces of Hibbing. There's debris everywhere. There's pink TVS now. There's pink debris wall. And there's power flashes everywhere in Hibbing. All we can see is debris being flung everywhere. There's debris being flung all the way out here. There's pieces of buildings that we can see right there. So we need to get quickly into Hibbing. This truck only goes 90 mile an hour, so therefore I'm getting back in the Dominator. There we go, now we're in more of a faster vehicle. The tornado still is only barely in Hibbing, but it's still doing damage, so we need to get back into the Hibbing area, because it definitely tore up parts of buildings, and probably will do that again. And actually, it looks like Hibbing might be fine, at least for the rest of the life of this tornado. But this part of Hibbing definitely got hit badly. So there's down power poles everywhere. Oh, and these were houses. I think these were expected homes. And there's not even inner walls left, so that is EF3 damage. And then parts of this warehouse and stuff was taken off. The roof of the gas station was lost. All average damage that we're used to seeing, mainly. I'm gonna try to head south and then not die in the tornado. And then get to the east. And that's still not a very wide tornado, surprisingly, but it did EF3 damage in Hibbing. And then now there's 2 pink TVS tornadoes on the map. And I think that is going to be the last of the tornadoes. So now we need to head east. But I also do want to check to see if there was ground scouring, and there was here, right where all these knocked down trees are. And yet somehow only the small tree survived. So now we just need to get out of the rain, driving on the wrong side of the road. So, we're almost out of the rain, and once we are, I'm just gonna look at the tornadoes, wait for them to fully dissipate. There weren't any wedges, but there doesn't have to be wedges for there to be decent-sized tornadoes. And we're about to leave the storm so we can get a visual on the tornadoes. And there we are, finally leaving the storm. Now I'm going to look at the tornadoes. So here's the one that we can actually see. It's currently ripping up pieces of a barn. You can't even see the TVS on that one anymore, but it's still pink. And I don't even think you'll be able to see the tornado itself. So, yeah, it's in the way of this tornado, or rather, that tornado is in the way of it. But overall, this was a pretty good storm. And we're gonna take a look at all the tracks of stuff. And then we will probably end the video after that. So here was the first tornado that we intercepted in this area. It grew on to be a total of 2,200 feet wide, and the outer wind field, or rather the total size of the tornado, being a mile wide. So now we just need to wait for the other two to die still. So I am actually going to have to go get my hair cut, so I'm gonna have to end the video here. But I'm guessing that the second tornado was around probably 3,000 feet in the funnel, and then the actual tornado being like around 1.2 miles wide, and then the third one being around 2,000 feet, and then the actual tornado being like around 4,500 feet wide. So that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see everyone in the next one. Goodbye.